And I'm glad you mentioned that because that leads me to my last question.
Yes.
I want to talk about your vision for Twitter's potential
Mm.
in terms of building these communities and steering people in good directions and helping people achieve their dreams or your dreams if that's the case. But like, how has your relationship with Twitter evolved as you've come to appreciate what it can do in this regard? And what do you think people are sleeping on right now that they need to fix and start pursuing?
This is a great question. And I wish I had even more answers for you. Um, I think that people making the best shit they know how to make is good for everybody. I think it's good for them and it's good for the world. And so I think that there's a bunch of worldly stuff it would be good to handle, like getting money to people that need it and things like this. But like a lot of that can come later, because I think there's something just like the special thing that no one can really account for is just how it's awesome. How a lot of what's happening around Twitter, and it happens in different circles. Like you and I are in one corner, but there are different corners. There's
Mm-hmm.
different corners that have their own thing going on, and a lot of it's high speed, it's super real, and it's fun, right? And I definitely think anyone who's not having fun on Twitter should log off. I mean, it's just a fucking waste of life. But for those who are, what is that fun about? I think that fun is about connecting with people. I think it's about self-expression. And honestly, I mean, like to go, my off the deep end version of it is like, I think American society, Western civilization needs a revival, basically. And it's, what is it? What does anything good come from? It's people doing shit they love excellently. And how do they do it excellently? It's by following the spirit of what they love more and more closely. So I do daydream a little bit. I'm like, oh, this person should do that. So this person should do that. In part because more near term, I think that the collection of people can be way more powerful than any individual, right? So like, I've got a Twitch show. That's cool. Okay. Like, imagine that there were 6 Twitch shows, right? From Twitter people, right? And let's say they were all like a little bit more like intellectually interesting than your average Twitch show, right? All of a sudden, we are going to be sucking up people from like Twitch, right? Not just bring so like philosophers and Twitch playing flight sim. That's basically bringing in all the Twitter people to Twitch. Imagine we were sucking in Twitch people, right? And Visa screws around with this. Visa was like, fuck it, let's make a subreddit for like in-group subreddit or whatever. It's like maybe we are like riding a magic carpet of just awesome energy that so many people can get involved in. And that is both the economic side, like getting products to be cool enough and like functional enough that they can support themselves and people can make careers out of them, right? But it's also staying close to that realness, right? It's staying close to what is fun. And that is both an individual thing and a collective thing to figure out. So for me, that's why I like to think, what could each person specifically do that is nearby to their life that they really like, get something out of doing. So it's like when Riddle Doodle, it's like totally makes sense that she would run a show, that she would like help people be hot, right? Again, that's my version of what her thing could be. Maybe her version is completely different. Maybe her version is like the opera thing or something completely different than that, right? So I don't know. I guess I just have this idea that like follow the good energy, eventually figure out how to make money, keep having fun. Don't stray from that core juicy thing that is actually worth doing. That's my answer to your question.
That's awesome. That's very exciting. I have been having a great time just with running like the Shakespeare stuff that I've been doing.
Yeah.
And not that that's like my ultimate goal to turn that into a business or anything, but the exhilaration people feel about being involved in that is way beyond what I expected.
It's iterative. Yeah. People love it.
And
And oh my god, it's sorry, I'm jumping in, but it's like
fun.
not only that, it's it's all the stuff I was just describing about like the energy and just making things, but it's also like it's Shakespeare, dude. Like that's our fucking society, right? That's our
everything.
fucking civilization. That is like art. It's like the good side. Like there's a lot of shit to hate about our civilization, like I don't know, nuclear bombs, right? Like poisoning the ocean. But this isn't that. This is fucking Shakespeare. Like that's wholesome shit. I love that. You know?
Yeah, and I thought it was just going to be like a fun thing to do with friends, and it has been that. But I did not expect it to be this thing that was like an axis around which people would want to rotate. And it's
Yeah.
been exciting to see how much untapped potential there is from that one thing, right? And granted, it's Shakespeare, so of course there's going to be a lot of unbridled energy, and I mean unbridled in the sense that it hasn't been bridled yet.
Yeah, yeah,
We need
yeah.
to
It's a
bridle
little
it.
messy to start.
Yeah. Um,
But think
but
about
how
this.
many other things are out there that people are just waiting for someone to say, "Hey, I want to do a weekly event about this thing."
Right. And it's
Who
also
knows?
like Shakespeare himself. Think about like Shakespeare the dude back in like 14 whatever, 15 whatever. It's like that dude and the people around him or whatever it was created that energy, and maybe it just hasn't run out of gas yet. You know what I mean? It's just still making energy. You know, it's almost
I feel like
like
I need to go write plays.
go right place, dude. Hell yeah.